So I just got back from a run, and so practicing a little bit that concept of taking a break from your work and then sort of allowing things to percolate. But before I went, I finished the rest of chapter 7, and there's actually something really interesting here, which was about this concept of what we notice in our environment. In other words, what are the things that we attend to? So when we're perceiving things, what do we attend to? And he talks about this salty candy from Germany that they did a study with called the Bissell drop. And so they would make a study with people, and they would give them some busy work which had nothing to do with the study's aim, but also half of the group they gave a Bissell drop, which is kind of the salty candy, which kind of makes you thirsty, and to half they didn't. And then after having them do all of this busy work to sort of make them think that, what was being studied was something different, they sat them down in sort of this standard academic office, kind of a small space with a chair and some books and pencils and a couple of cups and empty can, whatever. And it was just sort of an office full of objects. And then later on, they were called in to make sort of a free recall of the objects that they saw in the environment. And so the group that had eaten the candy and were thirsty, that state that they were in influenced what they noticed and later remembered. And so, for example, they had this goal in their mind, which is to drink some water, and that tunes our perceptions to what we're seeing around us toward fulfilling that thing. So the results came out that the list of things that they were able to remember were like a cup, a bottle of water, various different things that were attuned toward what it is that they needed. And so it makes me think a lot about language learning and how we find over and over that language immersion is the best way to learn. And these studies seem to reflect that, in the sense that the language that you end up learning best is the language that you need. So how to ask to get to the bathroom, get food, get water, get shelter, all of those things, you're motivated to be able to build skills that will give you the knowledge to get that goal that you have, and then you attend to that thing. It's much like I bought last year a Fiat 500, and I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's not a very popular car here. And before I bought the car, I didn't really notice them in general very often in the city. But now there's, every time I see one, I say, oh my gosh, there's so many here, because I'm attending to that detail. So anyway, super interesting, really interesting sort of repercussions for the way that we want to teach. Perhaps what we'd like to do is put students in environments where they feel a need to use the knowledge that they're learning. All right, more to come.